Welcome to Nitty Gritty Real Estate. In this series, we're interviewing Matt Cox. He's a con man who committed tens of millions in bank fraud and served 12 years in prison as a result. We don't condone his criminal behavior, but we're tapping into his unique real estate knowledge so that we can become better investors. Well, let's talk about real estate gurus pertaining to, helping newbies get into the business. Like, is that a dangerous way to get into it? Are they selling just like hyped up, fluff, or is there value there?
I mean, in my opinion, there's really nothing new in real estate. There are a few things they've tweaked, right? Like Airbnb. There's a couple little tiny things, but these things have been around, in different facets. Granted, you've got an app now. There's little things that have been around that have subtly altered it, but the basic concepts are tried and true, and they're, depending on what the economy is doing, it's not hard to make money in real estate if you just follow them. So most of what it is it's motivation and it's hype. And it's like, what was the guy's name? Grant? Stephan. What was his name? Graham Stephan. We were talking about Graham Stephan, which is, he's great. He's super energetic, super entertaining. Every time I watch him, I get motivated. I feel motivated. But the problem is he's talking about buying properties for $800,000, $1 million, $2 million, and they use vague concepts that aren't really showing you the nuts and bolts of how something's going to work. It's always kind of an upsell. It's like, I'm trying to get you in, and then, hey, you can buy my package, or you can do this, or you can do that.
Mm-hmm. I think that's one dangerous part, is it's always about the upsell.
Right.
And that could really be taking you in directions that you don't necessarily want to go.
Right.
For me, I spent $20,000 on a coach that I got at, a real estate seminar. And I could have learned the same thing for $0.
Yeah.
But, I did kind of get over a fear of writing contracts. That was kind of the main thing I got out of it. I was scared of making offers and basically getting sued for whatever, specific performance or just whatever. It was just irrational fears early on.
Yeah.
So that's actually what I got out of that coaching, $20,000 coaching. Could have learned the same thing from a book. It would have been great if I could have just partnered up with somebody that I knew and trusted, but I don't know. Being a beginner, how do you even know,
Right.
It's a tough call.
Yeah, if you were to just have read the book, Real Estate for Dummies,
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or The Idiot's Guide to Real Estate.
That would have been the perfect one for me, actually.
Right. And
Idiots or Dummies.
Yeah, no, but I mean, both those series are amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I think the big deal is, the big thing is, one, there's nothing new. You just need, if you could just have access to somebody that had the knowledge to tell you, make sure you don't do this, do this. That sounds like a good offer. I would consider this. Hey, don't forget mm-hmm. that. That's what you need, is you need somebody like a mentor, someone that mm-hmm. A coach or a mentor that can say, hey, okay, what is it again? Okay, well, wait, what are the numbers? You're not considering this and this and this, and what about this, and what about this and this? No, that's actually doesn't sound to me like a good deal. Of course, they're not going to tell you, do it, don't do it, but you're missing some components. You're mm-hmm. missing some of the, mm-hmm. Some of the part of the equation.
For sure. That's what definitely the coach or the mentor is like the way to go. I mean, the big seminars with the gurus, you can go in there and learn some stuff. They're good for networking, but right. Leave your wallet in the car.
Yeah. It's just not that difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, there are different tactics, there are different strategies, but overall, it's the same basic concept. It's like we had talked about before. It was like what you said. What the one good thing about the one that you paid for mm-hmm. was
it got me over one hurdle.
Right. Yep. It got you over a hurdle that you may have never gotten over. And on top of that, you said there was some accountability. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the big thing, is accountability. Like you had said, setting goals, and and if the gurus aren't doing that, but let's say they are. So let's say some of them are. I could understand that, where the guy's calling you up and saying, hey, like, here's the thing. These guys are so focused on profit. Mm-hmm. Like, they're gonna do the seminar, do the tapes, do the books, upsell, so that they can make, $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, whatever they're making a year, and it's outrageous. But the truth is, if maybe instead of saying, hey, I'm gonna make $5 million this year being a real estate guru, maybe if they said, you know what, maybe I could just make $2 million, and I could hire a couple people to start calling some of the people that are investing in me and see how they're doing and help them, maybe do a helpline, help push them over these hurdles, help get them to set goals, help get them to get up and actually, because if you end up buying all those books and going to all of those seminars and doing all these steps and these self-help classes and all the other things that they offer, and then you've never bought a piece of fucking real estate, beep. And that's ridiculous.
Right, yeah, that's our
But that's the problem. Then that person's not a guru, and if all you're doing is doing a motivational speech and people get out, well, guess what? They're not walking right into a real estate office and trying to buy property. They're not listing property. They don't know how to do anything. You can go to law school, get a degree get a law degree. You're not walking into a courtroom.
Yeah, absolutely not.
You can graduate medical school. You're not operating on somebody. Okay? So all of these things, there's a certain level of, you have to have a certain a portion where you have to practice.
Experience.
Yeah.
Not just reading a book. Or,
Right. You're going to have somebody say, call, and like we talked about, it's tough to make that call.
All right, so if somebody had, let's say $20,000, that seems like kind of a round number for the whole guru upsell things, 20, 25. I think they'd be better off, putting that money into, marketing, if nothing else, for some houses or a down payment. They could potentially partner up with somebody. But either way, partner up with an experienced person. Like, if you've got the money to spend, my Lord, put it towards something like tangible.
You could go to a real estate investor. Like, I literally picked up the newspaper and called 4 or 5 different houses and newspapers. Went through went online and was looking up different. It wasn't newspapers. I was going online looking for houses that were for sale.
Yep.
Went through Craigslist.
Yep.
I always think of Craigslist as the newspaper. So it is right. They don't physically have it, but yeah. So I was going through it.
For sale ads?
Yeah, for sale ads for real estate and calling. And a lot of these places are real estate investors. They have 10 houses, 5 houses they're trying to sell.
Yep.
So you could go and talk to those guys and say, look, I'll come work for you 5 hours a week for free. And just make calls for you and everything if you just kind of help train me, or offer them $5,000 to mentor you for 2 months, or most of them honestly would be like, nah, bro, I'm not gonna charge you. You just want me to answer some questions? Yeah, I'll do that. That's fine. They really would care less because they realize.
Yeah, I like that.
That's not I think that would be a way to do it. Or maybe they might say, yeah, you come work for me, and I'll have you go do this and do that, and I'll answer your questions, or help me out, make some phone calls, do this. Well, that's free. You have to pay $5 or $10,000.
Just find somebody, vet them. For sure. You want to be sure you're working with somebody knowledgeable who knows what they're doing.
Or get the experience. Just go out and buy a house and see what happens.
Yeah.
Honestly, what's the worst that happens? You buy a house, you rent it out, maybe you break even. At least you'll figure. At least you go through the process.
Or maybe you lose your shirt, man.
I don't know how you're going to lose your shirt if you buy the property and rent it out, and you can cover your.
Yeah, you're right. If you were talking about super newbie guys, though.
Yeah. I'm saying that worst case scenario is you jump on the bike and start pedaling. You might wreck, you might whatever, but you're going to learn how to ride the bike.
The thing is, I feel like there's a greater chance of losing money with that $20,000-$25,000 investment with the guru than I do with.
Oh, you're definitely going to lose the money with the guru. Yeah. At least if you put it down on a down payment, you've got the equity.
Right.
If you're borrowing money from a bank, you're not going to pay too much for the house because they're going to get an appraisal. You're probably going to buy it at market, at market value. At worst case scenario, you're getting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The fact is that there's always an exception to the rule. 99% of the time, you're going to at least be buying it at market value. So you put $10,000 down or $15,000 down, at least you have the equity in the property. You get a decent interest rate. You rent it out.
Yep.
You're not going to lose your shirt. but you might break even at the end of the month, or you might make a very little profit, but at least you'll have gone through the process.
Yep. In the worst case, you sell it and you get your money back.
Yeah, or you hold on to it for 30 years and it the market continues to go up, and you bought a house for $100,000, and in 30 years it's worth $400,000 and $500,000.
Subscribe for more interview videos of Matt Cox. Also, if you're interested in learning how to flip houses or buying your first rental property, we can help. More info is in the description and also at nittygrittyrealestate.com. Thanks for watching.